Business Minds, pioneering and inspiring entrepreneurs. Creative talks, CEO insights, success stories, value markets, and financial education. This is the CEO Show. Hosted by Dan. Business Minds, pioneering and inspiring entrepreneurs. Creative talks,
CEO Show.
success.
A very special episode that I'm sure you won't afford to miss. And this brings to your attention that we not only concentrate on the current CEO, all the CEOs that are now in the seats, but the CEOs that are also upcoming. And tonight we have a very special and close to the heart CEO who might not be the current CEO, but the future CEO. There is a story that has been going viral for quite some time, and it's so important to locate this amazing child. You remember the graduation in Baraton? A young girl stood out, very confident, courageous, and determined. But what was the difference? She didn't have a gown. We had to reach out to her and also find out more about this amazing woman. And guess what? Tonight, she's coming live on the CEO Show. And surprisingly, when she grows up, she wants to be a CEO. But not only a CEO, but the country's CEO. This is Naomi Chepchirchir, whose story has featured, and a lot of you have been yearning and looking forward to hear about her story. We went ahead and also caught up with her mother, who is here tonight, to tell us a little bit about this amazing, beautiful, charming princess, Naomi Chepchirchir, from Kombe Primary School, a grade 2 student, or a pupil for that matter. And tonight we have the mother together with the amazing Naomi Chepchirchir. Mama, habari ya leo?
Salama.
Uko mzima? Weka tu microphone karibu. Utuambie majina yako.
Mimi naitwa Milka Sawe.
Kutoka wapi?
Mimi naitwa Milka Sawe kutoka Kombe.
Wewe kazi yako ni nini mama?
Sina kazi juu nachunia chai tajiri mwingine mwenye anaitwa Rono, John Rono kutoka Kombe.
Okay.
Nyumbani ni Ngatatia. Saitwa Kaptel.
Saidi ya Kaptel?
Yeah, mimi ni Munanti.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sasa huyu msichana wetu ambaye mrembo wetu ambaye tuko naye leo, yeye ni namba ngapi nyumbani?
Yeye ni namba 5. Yeye msichana namba 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Na hiyo siku ilionekana alikuwa graduation. Mlikuwa na yeye?
Tulikuwa na yeye graduation.
Ya
juu msichana namba 4 aliniambia niliona Ruta akikuja njia ya Kimondi 2016. Kulonjia ya kwenda Kapsisiwa. Akaambia huyu mdogo, wewe ulikuwa mdogo nikiona helikopta akielekea juu. Lakini si kuona helikopta ikishuka chini. Saa huyu akalalamika akasema hata mama utaweza kunipeleka mahali ndege tu inashuka ndio niende nione. Nikaambia tuone kama tutaenda bara mahali Faith kutoka nasoma juu msichana wangu namba 3 ako BIS ya university. Ako yenye inaitwa Baraton International School yenye iko university ndani.
Wewe ni msichana wako namba 3?
Ni msichana wangu namba 3. Yeah.
Okay.
Saa juu ya graduation tulienda siku ya graduation nikaambia tutaenda muende muone leo ndege ikishuka. Yeah.
Alafu mtoto namba 4 ni miaka ngapi?
Ako na 10 years.
10 years.
Yeah.
Hiyo darasa la ngapi?
Ako grade 3. Yeah.
Okay. Alafu yako grade ngapi?
Grade 2. Yako grade 2.
So mkaenda mlikuwa alikuwa anataka Naomi alikuwa anataka kwenda kuona ndege.
Naomi na Cynthia ndio walikombana. Mimi nimeshaona ndege akiamuka kwa chini wakati yenye Ruta alikuwa Kimonti.
Okay.
Akilonchi njia ya Kapsisiwa. Yeah.
Okay. So mkatoka mkaenda.
Tukatoka siku hiyo ya graduation. tukatoka siku ya graduation tukaenda mpaka Chemundu. Mtu mwingine aliniambia ndege itashuka Chemundu primary. Sasa nikaambia tutaenda sasa mpaka Chemundu. Nikabandisha hawa poda tukapika huko.
Nyinyi watatu?
Sisi watatu. Bila tulikuwa tunataka tuingie kupita gate. Askari wa gate wakatuambia mnaenda wapi? Tukaambia tulikuwa tunakuja graduation. Akatuambia ni nyuma. Mrudi nyuma. Nikaambia hapana, tunaenda senda Chemundu. Nitabutia hawa wadogo kitu ya kalanchi. Kidogo nikaambia wasichana, akaniambia askari atatushika. Nikaambia hapana, hakuna mwenye atawashika. Lakini lazima muone nini ndege juu mlikuwa mnataka ndege muone ikishuka. Saa hiyo tukapita Banya Road. Tukaingia mali, tukaenda mbele kidogo, nikaambia Naomi tupita hapa. Cynthia akasema mama, si uliona askari alitukatasha tupita hapa, atatushika. Nikaambia tuende tu. Haya, tukapika pale, tukakata dakika 2, helikopta ya kwanza ikashuka. Ya pili ikashuka tena. Kidogo msichana mwingine akaniambia unajua mimi sijaona ruta. Nikaambia ni ule mwenye msichana mwingine tu mwenye alikuwa huko. Nikaambia hujaona ruta? Akaniambia ndio. Nikaambia uko na miaka ngapi? Akaniambia niko na 20 lakini sijaona live. Nikaambia huyo msichana ule mwenye anavaa suti na dai ya red ni ruta. Akaniambia na ule ya white. Nikaambia saa sijui yeye, lakini ruta ni ule kabisa.
Hiyo mlikuwa mmefika graduation?
Tulikuwa Chemundu primary. Mahali ndege ilishuka.
So mliona president akishuka?
Tuliona president akishuka.
Na Naomi alimuona?
Naomi ni mwerebu. Saa akaniuliza mam, na ile kitu ni nini? Nikaambia wacha niulize. Nikaambia askari mwenye alikuwa huko hiyo nini ni ya nini? Akaniambia ni sima moto. Nikaambia inaitwa fire fighting. Hiyo yenye kitu ikatendeka
kuzima
moto. Ule msichana nikaambia enda ona ruta na turuti au msipite nini kwa gate. Tuende mrudi tupitie nje ndio tutoke tuende graduation. Kidogo huyo msichana akarudi akaniambia kumbe president ni Mnandi. Nikaambia si ni Mnandi. Kipchirchir ni Mnandi. Akaniambia kumbe anaweza salamia watu. Akaniambia walisalamia watu na akaingia kwa kari. Nikaambia ni Mnandi. Haya hao wasichana hawakujua ni Ruda ndio anakuja kugraduate wanafunzi. Akaniambia mama ni president Samoe. Nikaambia ni Samoe. Akaniambia tutaenda ona. Nikaambia tutaenda mpaka graduation square ndio muone akiongea.
Huyu ni kina Naomi sasa?
Saa huyu ni Naomi sasa. Cynthia akasema na polisi watatembea naye mpaka huko chini. Nikaambia wale wenye wako kwa gate watapaki tu kwa gate, wengine wako huko chini. Saa akaniambia saa tumeona ndege mpaka ametutosha. Saa tutarudi tuone tena vile itaamuka. Saa ule ni Naomi sasa aliniambia saa tutaenda alafu turudi. Nikaambia vile umeona wakati ingine utaona tu ndege akikuja mahali yoyote utaona akiamuka akielekea juu. Tukateremka. Ilikuwa kitu ndege ilikuwa inasuka saa 3 na kitu. Ilikuwa saa hiyo. Tukateremka mpaka graduation. Tukaingia mpaka mahali screen ilikuwa hapo chini. Saa akaniambia wapi ruta? Nikaambia ngoja nafasi ikipikia waongee nitawaonesha. Wakaona tu kwa screen. Saa huyu Naomi alikuwa anaona tu screen akisimama na ule Cynthia alikuwa ameketi. Kidogo nikaambia sasa ni ruta ni ule. Akaniambia mwenye anapaka wabiakani. Nikaambia yule ya blue. Kidogo Naomi akaniambia na hii ni televisheni. Nikaambia siwe uko mbele ni ule. Akaona tu kidogo akaniambia mama Tutaweza enda kusalamia? Nikaambia hapana. Askari yuko huko, amutaenda kusalamia. Cindy akaambia, unajua askari atawapika, atakukonga kichwa. Naomi akakaa chini. Saa kijana wangu mdogo akaanza kulia. Nikampea kitu yenye nilikuwa nimenunulia. Akakataa. Saa nikasema wacha tu ninyonyeshe kidogo. Ndio anyamaze juu alikuwa ameanza kupika kelele. Kidogo kidogo mama mwingine akaniambia, umenikanyaka, songa kidogo. Nikaona kumbe msichana wangu hayuko hapa. Nikaambia sasa ameshadoka kitambo. Nikaambia Cynthia, Naomi ako wapi? Akaniambia si alikuwa anakaa chini hapa. Sasa nikauliza mama mwenzangu mwenye alikuwa nyuma, mama nionea ule kasichana? Akaniambia ametoka tu hapa hivi, si alikuwa anakaa chini hapa, alipita hapa. Sasa nikaanza kusimama na nikaambia Cynthia, toa ile leso ya mtoto ndio tutapute msichana. Mwingine akaniambia mama kaa chini, tunataka tuone Ruta maneno yenye anaongea, umetukinga. Nikaambia mtoto amepotea. Nikaambia ninaweza nyamaza na mtoto amepotea sioni. Sasa nikaelekeza tu macho yangu, nikaona mahali hapo karibu sioni. Mwingine nikaambia tu wenye walikuwa mbele, juu walikuwa wanande, mrudi nyuma, mnipe nafasi niende mbele juu laini ya 3 ilikuwa yangu. Ya pili ilikuwa wenye watu wenye walikuwa mbele. Na nikaanza tu kusimama kidogo kidogo. Nikaona mtu mwingine akileta yeye, akanishika tu kwa nini, akaniambia mama msichana amekuja mpaka mbele, saa chunga yeye. Nikaambia sawa. Kuanzia saa hiyo ilikuwa kitu sijui ilikuwa saa 7 hivi. Nikaambia sasa Naomi, saa utapotea, so unaona watu ni wengi na nilikuambia kuna askari wenye wataweza kuwapika. Nikaambia tutoke sasa kwa baba. Vile nilikuwa ninatoka tu, tukakutana na kijana wangu namba 2 anaitwa Simon Kipkorir. Akashika akaambia kuja niwasalimie kwa baba. Simon akatuletea baba mtoto mwingine mwenye alikuwa BS, pamoja naye alikuwa classmate yake. Akatusalamia, akatuuliza tu mlikuwa graduation, tukaambia ndio. Akatuambia tu mko sawa, nikaambia Sasa hiyo nimeambia Simon uko na milk, akaniambia sina. Kidogo nikaambia tunataka tuondoka. Akaniambia mbona simungekaa kidogo? Nikaambia hapana, huyu mtoto anaweza potea, tutoke tu. Na tukatoka saa hiyo mpaka kwa nje.
Naomi alikuwa anakuambia nini?
Naomi alikuwa aliniambia sasa sikuona
ameenda wapi?
Alikuwa ameenda mbele ya kina Ruto.
Sawa.
Tukatoka nje, mtu mmoja mwenye alikuwa ananitupia, alikuwa anatifu huyu kijana wangu wakati yenye alikuwa mgonjwa. Nikaleta Boston. Akaniambia unipee namba yako, ndio huyu msichana yako. Nimetumana ati niko na namba ya mama yako. Nikaambia kitu gani ilitendeka? Akaniambia si unaona kwa bija. Nikastukia. Saa mtu wa boda akaniambia tuharakishe tuende.
Sasa hiyo baada hiyo jioni watu walikupigia masimu?
Saa nikapika kwa tajiri yangu mwenye ninachunia chai, msichana mwenye anauza duka huko mwenye anaitwa Renzi. Akaniambia mama Naomi, umeona Naomi? Nikaambia unajua si kuona vizuri. Akanionyesha sasa. Mimi nikastuka kidogo kidogo, watu wakanipikia. Tu nilipea huo daktari namba.
Huyu Naomi ni wewe kama mama, wewe unaona ni mtoto aina gani?
Huyu mtoto wangu sio mwoka. Ukiona Cynthia anakaa yeye ni mwoka, lakini huyu ni mwerebu sana juu vile alikuwa anataka aondoke juu watoto wa CVC saa hiyo anakuuliza kitu yenye hata wewe hauwezi jibu. Aliniambia mama, ninaweza enda salamia, tunaweza enda tusalamie. Nikaambia hapana. Nilimwakatasha. Nikaona huyu mtoto mbona anauliza maswali yenye mimi siwezi jibu hata saa zingine. Nikaona huyu mtoto ni mwerebu. Na nikasema juu nilikatasha aende huko, aende amsalamie. Nikaona huyu atapotea, ataweza ona kitu ingine apotee, na watu walikuwa wengi sana.
Okay.
Yeah.
Asante. Sasa wacha tuongeleshe Naomi atusalamie. Naomi. Sasa
Poa.
hebu tuambie majina yako yote.
Naomi Chepchirchir.
Naomi Chepchirchir. Unasoma wapi Naomi?
Kambe Primary.
Mwalimu wako anaitwa nani?
Mr. Keech.
Okay. Ulikuwa umeenda kuona watu walikuwa wanafanya nini? Ulienda mkaona ndege? Ulikuwa umeona ndege? Na unataka kupanda? Sasa siku moja utapanda ndege, si ni kweli? Okay. Uliona president? President wetu anaitwa nani?
Ruto.
Na jina ingine? William, si ndio? William Samoei Ruto. Alafu hapo mbele kuna daktari. Unataka kuwa nani uko mkubwa?
William.
Unataka kuwa?
William.
Unataka kuwa kama William? Sasa siku hiyo ulitaka kwenda kumsalamia? Ukamuona? Mbona ukwenda kumsalamia Naomi?
Mama alinikataza.
Mama alikukataza? Na utataka kumsalamia siku moja, si ndio? Sawa, wacha tutamtafuta alafu tumsalamie. Ulikuwa namba ngapi juzi?
2.
Namba 2. Kwa klasi yako? Sasa next time utakuwa namba?
Namba 1.
High five, hebu nifanyie high five kwanza. Wewe ni sharp, si ndio? Si ndio Naomi? So tumekuleta alafu tukwambia hata wewe kesho utakuwa kama president wetu. Si ni kweli? Si umesema unataka kuwa president? So tumekuleta hapa leo alafu pia hata ukue kama nani? Alafu shule tutakuja, si ndio? Si ndio Naomi? Rafiki yako ni nani shule? Rafiki yako anaitwa nani? Mwenye mnachezanga naye? Cherono. Sawa sawa. Alafu tukuje tuwalete nini tukuje shule? Hebu sema. Tuwalete nini? Wacha tutakuja shule, alafu tukuletee vitabu, si ndio? Unafungua shule lini?
Monday.
On Monday. Sawa sawa. Wacha tutakuja, alafu tuambie nini president wetu?
Msalamie.
Tumsalamie? Hebu angalia huko na umsalamie. Angalia kwa ile kamera. Salamia yeye. Salamie. Mwambie nilikuona. Lakini sikukufikia. Lakini next time utafanya nini? Utamsalamia. Sawa sawa? Alafu tutaona venye utakuwa kama yeye. Sawa sawa? Kwa sababu wewe ni mtoto sharp. Sawa sawa Naomi? Alafu watu wengi wenye wanakuangalia huko wanasema wanakupenda sana. Si ndio? Wacha tumalize na mami sasa. So mama, after hiyo yote sasa watu wamekupigia masimu, ni kweli?
Watu wamenipigia simu wakiwa wengi sana. Hata wengine wakiniuliza ninasikia sauti juu si kusave sana namba ya watu. Mtu ananiuliza tu, wewe ni mama wa Naomi? Nina pale ipo.
Okay. Changamoto gani wewe unapitia sasa hizi mama?
Ni mingi sana hata siwezi kueleza sai.
Okay. Unaishi nyumbani?
Niko kwa Lanti.
Okay.
Nyumbani ni Kibonse.
Okay.
Lakini mimi nachuna chai kwa Kombe.
Kwa Kombe. Okay. Sasa wacha tutapanga tutembee, alafu tuone venye tutasaidiana.
Sawa.
Si ni kweli mama?
Okay.
To our viewers tonight, I think you are really looking forward to listen from the future president. We don't know president namba ngapi, but the future president will be the country's CEO. And we've brought the family on a very humble ticket to be here. And the most important thing is not the big things that we do. It's about the smallest thing that we do in a big way. And the number for the mom is on our screens, so that if you have something to support this amazing family, in the meantime we can support them. And also we'll find a very structured way and see how we can be part of contribution to this amazing young girl. That is the essence of life, touching life. We want to appreciate Naitwa Mwangi, who is the presidential photographer. He did an amazing job to bring forth and also to share the story of this young girl through the lenses. And also to Lemiso Media House for sharing, because that's where I got the information, and we saw it important to support them. Personally, we saw it important that we are going to see how we are going to make this girl education easier and also to extend to the family. Join us and support this amazing family. In due course, we'll get a structured way on how we can be of benefit and support to this amazing family. So for tonight, we want to do one extra activity, because she was attending this graduation, and I think before we go there, we'll be in a position to read out some big ups from people. And one person here, this is a message in the same spirit of giving back to the society. Moita Adventures, through its director Joshua Kitolele, is pleased to offer a full package of trip, that is package trip to Naomi, mother, and the father to Baringo on Sunday 25th. I believe this will go a long way. So this is courtesy of Moita Adventures, who are willing to take the family. Mom, kuna rafiki yetu pia ambaye anasema anataka kuwapeleka Baringo tour on Sunday. Uko tayari?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay.
Yeah.
So thanks to Moita Adventures. We are really grateful. So we can also go through some comments on the page to read out some 1 to 3 contributions, and also to see if we can help this amazing family and also this future CEO. Just to read a few. We are following life. There's a blessing. Somebody is saying we have also Julia Siego. God has a way of blessing his own people through many unthought ways. We have Pongezi Sana from Justin Lomeri. We also have a great job. We have Ongera future CEO from Debing, and many others that are still coming in. We can read the number. The number for the mother is 0114. Ladies and gentlemen, the number is 0114 56 44 04. The number is 0114 56 44 04. Let's support this amazing family, but personally, together with the entire team, Alfred Sargent, we have Lemiso, we have Naitwa Mwangi, and the CEO show, and all the partners that we have here at the CEO show, we are going to see to it that Naomi goes back to school very confidently, and also we are willing to support her journey to become the next country's CEO. It is very possible. Ladies and gentlemen, before we wrap it up, we have one assignment that we need to do on this particular show. Since she was attending the graduation, we have a team here. We can just do something for her. And also, I think the team can come with, we have a gown here. Kali and Lemiso can join us here, and want to do this in spirit of support and also a declaration that this is a future graduate. We had to get a gown for her to make her feel and get the feeling what the rest were feeling. Naomi, unasikiaje? Uliona nani alikuwa amevaa hii?
Ruto.
Ruto alikuwa amevaa kama hii? So wewe umevaa leo, si ndio? So tunataka ukazane uende usome kwa shule, si ndio? Alafu pia kesho pia wewe uvae hii, si ndio? Alafu pia ugraduate. Sawa. Thank you Lemiso and thank you Kalia. Unasema nini? Utaenda kukazana shule? Ukwe namba ngapi? Number 1. Sawa. Alafu sisi tutakutembelea shule. Sawa. So ya mwisho I think mama unaweza tuambia jambo alafu tutamaliza.
Sawa. Nimesikia kweli ya kwamba mtanisaidia. Huyu msichana ni number 5. Mimi nataka niwaeleze vile niko. Mimi ni msichana number 2 kwa nyumbani na wavulana 3. Kwetu hatuna nyumbani kwetu hatuna shamba kubwa. Ni mimi ni msichana number 2 na watoto wangu ni 6. Wa kwanza ako St. Gabriel Kombe. Kama nimepika hapa kweli mimi sijui nani ni nani kwa hapa. Kama mnataka mnisaidie. Msichana wangu ako na fish areas mingi sana. Juu sikuweza kuchuna chai ndio nilipe school fees. Huyo msichana anaitwa Ruth Chepkembo. Admission yake ni 2012.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ako
form 3.
Form 3.
Yeah, ako
na fees ya shilingi ngapi?
48.
Okay.
Yeah.
48,000.
From vile nilikuwa nimelipa mpaka hapo.
Okay.
Sina mwenye ananisaidia
na mimi na ngapi sasa?
Wanatai 48.
48,000.
Yeah.
Okay. Umesema shule ni gani?
St. Gabriel Kombe.
St. Gabriel Kombe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Na kijana number 2 anaitwa Simon Kipkorir ako Kemelai Boys.
Kimiloi.
Yeah, lakini kuna mwenye ananisupport kidogo kwa huyo. Haya msichana number 3 ako Bias. Tena kuna mwenye ananisaidia kidogo kwa huyo. Sio mbaya sana. Yenye niko na shida sana ni chakula na mali ninaishi. Mimi naishi tu kwa land. Yeah.
Okay. Sawa mama. Tumesikia lakini nafikiri ya kwanza tutaangalia kuhusu mtoto mwenye ako form 3.
Yeah.
Tuone venye tutamsaidia. Alafu pamoja na wahisani pia na marafiki zetu.
Asante sana kama
tutaangalia mambo ya fisi yake.
Yeah.
Alafu kuendelea hivyo ni uhusiano ambaye tutaendelea kwa pamoja na wewe.
Sawa.
Tutatembea nyumbani pamoja na marafiki wengi ambao wako tayari kutembea pamoja na wewe. So ujue watu wetu pia wenye wanatutazamia siku ya leo wako na upendo kwenu.
Asante.
Ndio maana tumewahita hapa na pia tutafanya mengi.
Sawa
Mama. Alafu mimi ni fundi wa manguo. So nilisema mpaka amalize shule uniform yake mimi namaliza.
Asante.
Sawa mama.
Sawa.
Asante. So ladies and gentlemen, I think it was that brave and also you've heard the plea from the mother. The number is out there. Let's support her and also we'll find a very structured way to see how we can be of benefit to this amazing family and also to this young lady who is looking forward to be the country's CEO. And also she passed some great regards to our number 1, the President of the Republic of Kenya, His Excellency Dr. William Samoei Ruto. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be coming back shortly after this break with another amazing guest on the CEO Show. See you in a moment.
Hosted by Dan. Business Minds, pioneering and inspiring entrepreneurs. Creative talks, CEO insights, success stories, value markets, and financial education. This is the CEO Show. Hosted by Dan. Business Minds, pioneering and inspiring entrepreneurs. Creative talks, CEO insights, success stories, value markets, and financial education. This is the CEO Show. Hosted by Dan. Business Minds, pioneering and inspiring entrepreneurs. Creative talks. talks, CEO insights, success stories, value markets, and financial education. This is the CEO Show. Hosted by Dan. Business Minds, pioneering and inspiring entrepreneurs. Creative talks, CEO insights, success stories, value markets, and financial education. This is the CEO Show. Hosted by Dan. Business Minds, pioneering and inspiring entrepreneurs. Creative talks, CEO insights, success stories, value markets, and financial education. This is the CEO Show. Hosted by Dan. Business Minds, pioneering and inspiring entrepreneurs. Creative talks, CEO insights, success stories, value markets, and financial education. This is the CEO Show. Hosted by Dan. Business Minds, pioneering and inspiring entrepreneurs. Creative talks, CEO insights, success stories, value markets, and financial education. This is the CEO Show. Hosted by Dan. Business Minds, pioneering and inspiring entrepreneurs. Creative talks, CEO insights, success stories, value markets, and financial education. This is the CEO Show. Hosted by Dan. Business Minds, pioneering and inspiring entrepreneurs. Creative talks, CEO insights, success stories, value markets, and financial education. This is the CEO Show. Hosted by Dan. Business Minds, pioneering and inspiring entrepreneurs. Creative talks, CEO insights, success stories, value markets, and financial education. This is the CEO Show. Hosted by Dan. Business Minds, pioneering and inspiring entrepreneurs. Creative talks, CEO insights, success stories, value markets, and financial education. This is the CEO Show. Hosted by Dan. Business Minds, pioneering and inspiring entrepreneurs. Creative talks, CEO insights, success stories, value markets, and financial education. This is the CEO Show. Hosted by Dan. Business Minds, pioneering and inspiring entrepreneurs. Creative talks, CEO insights, success stories, value markets, and financial education. This is the CEO Show. Hosted by Dan. Business Minds, pioneering and inspiring entrepreneurs. Creative talks, CEO insights, success stories, value markets, and financial education. This is the CEO Show. Hosted by Dan. Business Minds, pioneering inspiring entrepreneurs, creative talks, CEO insights, success stories, value markets, and financial education. This is the CEO Show. Hosted by Dan. Business Minds, pioneering and inspiring entrepreneurs, creative talks, CEO insights, success stories, value markets, and financial education. This is the CEO Show. Hosted by Dan. Business Minds, pioneering and inspiring entrepreneurs, creative talks, CEO insights, success stories, value markets, and financial education. This is the CEO Show. Hosted by Dan. Business Minds, pioneering and inspiring entrepreneurs, creative talks, CEO insights, success stories, value markets, and financial education. This is the CEO Show. Hosted by Dan. Business Minds, pioneering and inspiring entrepreneurs, creative talks, CEO insights, success stories, value markets, and financial education. This is the CEO Show. Hosted by Dan. Business Minds, pioneering and inspiring entrepreneurs, creative talks, CEO insights, success stories, value markets, and financial education. This is the CEO Show. Hosted by Dan.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back again to the CEO Show. We have our guest on set, our second guest, who is going to speak in regard to our tonight's topic. Remember, this is the CEO Show that always comes to you every Tuesday from 7:30 to 8:30. And the main aim of this particular show is to bring you frontliners and business leaders in different sectors and different industries to share their stories and also to speak what is it that has taken them to be where they are. But the most important thing is the nuggets that comes and the lessons that comes with their stories. And what is it that has kept them to be where they are. Tonight our guest is Joshua Kipchumba Chelalang, who is in the property industry. He is the CEO of Milestone Property Management. And before that, he was seriously in the banking industry before he chose to step out to deeper oceans and started this particular property. He'll be sharing about his story. Sit back and listen. It's about learning. It's about inspiration. It's about insights and education. Please, if you'll be having a question, please comment on the comment section for us to know that you're part of this amazing conversation. Don't forget to share this amazing episode. We are coming to you. This is the 14th episode of the CEO Show. Welcome, Mr. Joshua Chelalang. How are you, sir?
Thank you. I'm fine, Mr. Dan.
Yes.
Mr. Dan.
Yes.
Thank you also for having me in the show. I'm so delighted and also privileged to be in your show this evening.
Who is Mr. Joshua Chelalang?
So my names are Joshua Kipchumba Chelalang, as it has been said. I am a married person with one wife and also 3 kids. I am a banker by profession, and also in my career, I studied information technology, degree in information technology. I worked in the banking sector for 14 years. That is since 2006 until 2020. That is when now I plunged into business. So that's basically who Joshua Kipchumba
Just to take you,
is.
just to take you back about your journey. Where were you born and which school did you go to, secondary and out to university?
Thanks for that question, Mr. Dan. Concerning my background, I was born in Chesingay village, Kapsikoria, Moiben, Kuserwo Ward, Elgeyo Marakwet County, Marakwet West constituency. So I was born in the year 1981. I went to Chesingay Primary School, then I went to secondary Umoja High School, then I proceeded to Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology to take BCIT, Business, Science and Information Technology course. I did that course and then I finished it. I worked now in the banking sector since 2006.
Okay, now you took business information technology.
Yes.
That is your undergraduate, that was bachelor.
That's my undergraduate.
And now transforming to banking. Which role were you playing in the banking industry?
Then from there, from 2006, I joined the bank as direct sales executive for 3 months. That is from August till November. After November, I was converted to customer service to serve customers under permanent and pensionable as customer service. From then, I moved to a cash officer, teller. Then I became a front office and also a back office teller. From telling, I went straight away to credit, that is lending. From lending now, I graduated to operation supervisor. That is to be in charge of customer service and also tellers in operation, to be authorizing the transaction, to be also leading them in meetings.
Okay.
Then from there, I rose to operation manager. That is number 2 from the branch manager, in charge of operation in a branch. And all those, I did it in Nairobi CBD. I worked in 7 branches rotationally. That is since 2006 until the year 2020.
Okay.
That is when now I decided to join business.
Now, growing to that such a lucrative position in banking industry, being the operations manager,
Yes.
what is it that made you to step out?
So actually what made me to step out is my driving passion. I had passion that maybe before I get into 45 years and above, as young as I am, and also energetic as I am, I deploy myself into a business industry and also employ myself. I did not find it good to be employed for more than 14 years, doing the same thing year in, year out, expecting different results. I felt that there is untapped resource within me. You see, when you work in somebody's company, you subscribe to the rules of the game. So I decided maybe I become the person to control that game and also to walk away from that cycle of working for someone from January to January, expecting something maybe not what I wanted, but also to explore the skills I've gotten from the bank. Because in the bank, I got an element of accounting skills, people skills, interpersonal skills. So I felt that if I am let to go, it's like maybe a plant in a nursery. If that plant is not transferred to another field, you will not know the challenges in the field. It will not be strong. So I decided to work out so that I can be subjected to the conditions which are outside there. And maybe someday I own the chem.
Okay.
And I also employ others. That was my passion.
Okay.
To grow myself and also to grow my own business empire. So the areas that I deal with mostly is property management. Maybe
now, before you go now into property management, because a lot of people always have this fear of stepping out of employment. And it's not that we advocate for people to leave jobs. But you woke up one morning, you wrote a resignation letter.
yes,
Right?
yes.
What is it that you had in mind? What next?
So maybe before then, maybe it is good when you are there, you try to know that what do you want in life? What drives you in life? What is your career? What is your passion? Immediately when you set up into employment, you need to know yourself. Self-discovery, there's a self-discovery journey. If you know yourself, and then now, in a workplace, it's a place of convenience for you to harness 3 things: the experience, the capital, and then also the management skills that you will need in the business. So before taking a bold step of leaving that salary, you need to have started it way back You don't just go outside without something that you've set for yourself. You need to run what we call a parallel process. You need to balance what you are doing for the employer and then also what you do for yourself. There is the personal growth and also delivering for the company. As you deliver for the company, you also need to ask yourself, are you making any step? If the company is making 100 steps, are you making 10 steps for yourself? So you need to come into realization that it is not easy to be employed, but it is easy to exceed. You can exceed by your choice, the company can exceed you, or even something else can exceed you. So once you are employed, know that going is a must. Even being born is a chance. But exceeding from this world is a must. So you need to know that it will even reach a time whereby the employer will be tired of you. He can wake up one morning and he feels like, I do not need done in this job. And then now he decides to sack you. So it is good to balance your work and then also your employer's work. And more so, you need to have a very good building structure of your family. Your family is the one that can enable you to work well in a place of work. So that when you settle, also your family can support you in the decisions that you make. So a person is as good as where he comes from, the family background. When you lay a very good marriage family, you make very good decisions. And then also in the workplace, as you serve your employer wholeheartedly. Do not serve your employer in double-minded. Because one day, one time, you will be a boss of your own company. So when you serve diligently and you serve honestly, you will get the blessings of serving within that organization. And then when you exceed, you even exceed without any issue that maybe there are some funds which were lost, there are some fraud that took place, because in a financial industry, so many guys exceed in many ways. They can exceed in maybe redundancy, they can exceed in maybe there is a fraud that has happened, they can also exceed in an performance, or you can decide to exceed by yourself.
Okay. Now talking about the idea of starting your company, Milestone Property Limited or Management.
Yes.
Now, what is it that you had in mind in starting the same?
What I had in mind is the business of real estate. If you go to Ipsos, the richest person in the Ipsos is a person who deals in real estate management. Real estate is the way to go. Real estate it can be either sourcing for property like land and also sell to clients, or even going an extra mile of developing the property for the sake of selling. So you find that housing and also land are basic. People need that. For you to be stable, you'll need a property. You'll need land. Land is precious. Always people increase, but land doesn't increase. The population increases. Kenya is still Kenya. The population is, if you had come to Eldoret 20 years ago, you'll find that in some areas, maybe when you go along even Iten Road, along Airport Road, along Nairobi Road, along Uganda Road, people were few. So what we need to know that is the land will remain to be the same, but always people will increase. That is why where the minds of people, if you ask somebody who is working, if you ask him, what do you want? I want a home, I want a land and home for myself. So land is basic. And then also land, there are 4 factors of production. And one of the key factors of production is land. So that's why I decided, let me go for the factor of production and engage in it. Besides property management, I also do tenders, I do also constructions.
Okay.
So this one is a low-hanging fruit for me.
Okay.
So I decided that it is easy to go into that aspect, and also you can make a kill out of, because it's a hanging fruit.
Okay.
It doesn't need a lot of rocket science and what have you. So then I decided now to go for the real estate, because I did a search and knew that property is the way to go.
Okay.
Real estate management.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, what was your first kill that is in business? Now, after resigning in your first year, or 2 years later, what was your first skill, and that is what made you know that now this is what I want to do, if you can remember?
Actually, it is in the area of tenders and supplies.
Uh-huh.
Actually, when I came out of the bank,
Mm-hmm.
that thing that made me to be stable is supplies.
Mm-hmm.
I did a quotation of a job that was being advertised somewhere to supply some construction materials, and I actually won it. So I've done so much of tender work than the property. I am basically 2.5 years old in the property management.
Okay.
It's a new baby that I'm trying to manage and care for it. But the area that I was in mostly is tenders, supplies, and even constructions.
Okay.
That was the area I was engaging in, be it roadworks, waterworks, or even supplies to schools.
Okay.
That's an area that I dwelled mostly after
Okay.
after the bank.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, having the knowledge of being in banking industry, you had clients, and at some point even you what do you call this, issuing loans and what have you. What do you think is the major challenge of these startups when it comes to now issues of finances? Because starting a company, everybody always have the fear of capital. But what do you think are the major challenges or the mistakes that people make when starting a business?
The mistake that most people make, Mr. Dan, is the planning aspect.
Mm-hmm.
The planning aspect. So many people want to be in business because they've seen you prospering in business, but they don't know what it entails you starting that business. So before starting a business, you need to count the cost of doing business. You need to count the cost of doing business. That is the capital. The main thing that people don't put in consideration is sourcing for the capital. If you want to be good in business, you need to start it way back when you are still employed. So we want to arrest an issue of the capital. How can you arrest the issue of the capital? When you are employed in that white collar job, be it government jobs or even private jobs, always try to save. Try to save for your idea. Have your idea in black and white. Write your idea somewhere of what you want to do maybe after that job. And then research. Research on what you want to do. Never start a business because XYZ is doing that business. We are never the same. Even when God created us, He created us in a unique way. I am not today a prototype of you.
True.
I cannot copy paste what you are doing. So I need to know which area am I good in. It will call to self-discovery journey. You need to discover yourself that which area are you passionate of. You need to know your purpose, and then what you are passionate for, and then also your potential. There's an area that you are potential in, maybe even in the media industry. Maybe your passion is in the media industry. Then after knowing what you need, your purpose, then what will drive you is the passion. Then after having that passion, try to know the cost of doing that business, the budget. When you know the budget, now the budget will guide you on the type of finance that you are looking for. So you need first of all to understand what you are good in. Never engage in a business because so and so is doing that business. Then now how to get the capital is the issue. When you are working, it is good to save for your future. Always have a saving culture. A saving culture is you need to always ensure that maybe after you are being paid, you need to have some saving strategies which are put in place. You cannot save money in the bank. No. You can save money in the bank and you can access it using the ATM, using the mobile apps, or even the mobile money. The best way is that when you are employed, straight away, have circle. It is good to be in a circle. An average person should have 1 or 2 circles.
That's an average person.
An average person.
So it means that
If you want to be stable in this life, and you be good in cash flows, you be liquid, you need to save your money in the circle.
what is the importance now?
The importance of saving money in the circle or saving money Actually, you save money for 3 basic things. One, for speculation. Today,
what will happen?
you can, one is speculation, first of all. You can find out that there is a piece of land being sold in annex. It is sold at a throwaway price. Then you take that money which is in the account, then you buy that property. So we save for speculation purposes. Number 2, we save for emergency cases. Today you are working here, and maybe you are told, maybe, God forbid, your father or mother is sick. They will always say that, let's see Dan, maybe he has something. You see, it's so ironical that maybe you work in the bank, and there is somebody in your home that has been, or he or she has been admitted in the hospital, and the family cannot raise the money. So they will take the phone and say, we call Dan, because he works in KRA, he works in the bank, he works in then, to their surprise, even yourself, you are limping in your financial management.
You're struggling.
People are targeting you that this money, we have admitted our dad, the person who can rescue us. In any family, there is always that one person who is being called to try and help the family, to sort issues in the family. God raises one person in that family, and maybe you are the one. So when you are placed maybe in an employment, people think at home, you see when you're employed, people think that you have hanging money lying somewhere. So now the aspect of saving the money is for emergency cases. Even yourself, you can be sick. I know maybe you have a medical cover, but for your siblings or even your parents, you are a breadwinner to that family. In the entire society, they know that Dan works in XYZ company. And in case there is a problem in this family, we can always run to. Number 3 now is when you lose your job, the money you saved will always enable you to settle as you wait for the other job coming. It is said that it is good to save at least your 6 months salary at any given point. When you are stopped today, you should be having an accumulation of your 6 months salary in the savings scheme, so that when the employer lays you off, because there are layoffs, you can be in a workplace and maybe there is a mistake that has happened, they need to lay you off. So when you lose your job, you will need that money like yesterday. And this money will enable you meet the basic needs. The basic needs. So how can you do that? How can you, maybe you are employed today, you are employed in XYZ company, and you are earning, let's say, 50,000 or 60,000. You need to have a budget tool. There's a budget tool that is 50, 30, 20. 50,
that's now budgeting now.
That's now a finance tool that will enable you to budget well for your money. 50% is the basic needs. In the Maslow, the hierarchy, basic needs is just below. The basic needs are the things that you cannot do without them. One is food, shelter, school fees,
clothing,
and anything like even medical. Those are basics. So 50% of your salary today, even if you ask someone here, 50% of your salary will go to rent payment, mortgage payment, food, and things which are not affordable. And then 30% is paying yourself. Paying yourself in terms of 10%, you can put it in circles. The other 10%, you can put it in investment. And maybe the other 10%, you can even give a tithe in the church, maybe a 10%. So the 30% is the ones that will enable you to move out of that. You see, so many guys go to work on Monday and they don't like that job. When ikifika Wednesday, mtu anaona, hey, at least wiki imefanya nini? But when it is Monday, I have an experience of 14 years. That traffic jam when you're in Nairobi, going for a job on Monday, so many people are in jobs that they do not like. Even the guys who are wearing ties to go and work, if you can ask them, if you can listen to them, they don't like that job. What is the problem? The problem is financial management aspect.
Okay.
So if you can understand,
it's not even about being employed in a job that you don't like.
It is not even about the job itself. You are working in a job whereby you have a bank obligation, you have a loan, you even have a Shylock loan. So you find somebody has even gone beyond normal bank loans and now is a victim of Shylock. The reason is the budgeting.
Okay.
So if you can set aside the 50%, you say this one will actually end with the basic needs. Needs are the ones that they are not inevitable.
Okay.
And then the
10%.
the 20% now is the wants. The wants is things which you can do without them. But the needs you need to do, you will do with the needs. So the wants now is the 20%, whereby you can even decide today that I want to spoil my family. I take them out for maybe at KFC, or even they go and swim. As a happy father,
Okay.
even who is working somewhere, even your class 3 child can ask you that, can we go and swim? Can we go and have some fun? So you need that 20% for the ones, even to buy yourself a good shoe, a nice suit, maybe a nice attire, a nice watch. That is now the ones. Ones are the things that it is not a must. You have them. But once in a while, it is good to appreciate yourself.
But now that is now limited to the 20%.
Limited to 20%.
Okay.
So if you get your salary, segment it into 3 aspects.
Okay.
The needs, the wants, and then also paying yourself.
Okay.
Paying yourself is putting money in circles, putting money in fixed deposit accounts in the bank, which will give you some interest.
Yeah.
And then the circle money will enable you to grow.
Okay.
The circle money will enable the circle and the investment money. 10% is for the circle, 10% is for the investment. This one is the one which is the game changer in your life.
Okay.
When you decide today that I'm going to leave this job, you'll go to the bank, maybe take that money in the circle and start your own business. And also, it is held to borrow money from the circle than to borrow money from the bank.
Okay.
Why? The reason is, when you save money in the circle, you are borrowing against your own deposits.
Savings.
So the advantage is, you'll be growing your savings. Second advantage is, after any AGM, you'll always get a dividend of your, it's like a tree. You'll eat the fruits of the tree. You'll not fell the tree, but you'll always eat the fruits of the tree. So it is held to put money in a circle because that money will grow over time.
Okay.
Since the time you're employed, maybe after 10 years, if you are saving always, maybe let's say 5,000. If you save 5,000 in a year, that is about how much? About
60,000.
60,000. Then if you do that for 5 years,
You have 300,000.
can you stop somebody who is employed today at the streets and ask him to give you 10,000? He will not have that money. So let's always calculate the saving culture in ourselves.
How now taking you now in terms of possibility?
Yes.
How can one attain such a discipline to always ensure that today is a payday, 50, 30, 20?
In finance management tool, financial management is how to manage your money, and maybe in the end result, the money will work for you. If you want to move out of the cycle of a paycheck, whereby you are paid today 100,000, then right away the money is being taxed. You go home with around 69,000. If you want to walk away from that cycle, the only thing that will save you is a saving culture in the circle. You have to force yourself. I know it is hard. You have to force yourself. Even if you save 1,000, it will make a very big difference in your life.
Okay.
You can save 1 in circles, which is good. In circle mean you are accumulating your money so that you will sort liquidity issue. You will also sort a cash flow issue. Another perfect way of saving money when you're employed, if you can access a loan, like even a Shamba loan, buy a property like land. Land appreciates in value. It is wise to buy land before buying a moving object, motor vehicle.
Okay.
Motor vehicle depreciates in value straight away. From the showroom, it will depreciate in value straight away. And also it's an expense. When you have the car, you'll need fuel, you'll need maintenance cost. And then also, something like it will always disturb you. You'll say, today let me run to see my friends in Annex. Let me go to West Indies to see my friends. You'll always have that urge of
Running
fueling, going with a vehicle.
Yeah.
But if you start with land, land is one of the form of wealth that will make someone to grow.
Okay.
Even if you ask somebody, how much are you worth? It is not the money in the bank. You are worth and the properties you own by yourself. It can be a land in maybe Chepkanga. It can be a land maybe in Annex. That land is worth 5 million. That is what somebody is worth. Not the money in the bank.
Okay.
Also money in circles. That money will always grow. After every AGM meeting, that money will grow by around 12 to 15%. That is the market rate as of now. Another way also, you can buy livestock. If you have land now, you see now the land will even enable you to go and buy maybe a doba, a cow, and that is your property. That's your property. So car is no longer taken as something to store money. It depreciates in value.
Okay.
So let's go to. It is good to save in SACCO. It is good to invest in maybe in land. If not land, you can even put your money in the fixed deposit account or treasury bills. So that money will have a multiplying effect. When you, maybe after 5 years, you'll know that you'll have grown yourself by this worth. And when you buy land today and sell tomorrow, the value will have changed. And if you can stay with that property, the land, for 5 years, you realize that the land that you bought it at 1.8, like Chepkang area, after 5 years or even 10 years, that land will be around 5 million. And you can even sell it, and you can even start real estate business. You can buy land, subdivide it, and sell. And land anywhere is very important. Be it in Moiben, be it in anywhere, land is a factor of production. And it's a very important asset for your wealth creation.
Okay, now we've talked about savings and also a decision about investment. Now talk about, in few minutes also, let's talk about now borrowing. We have critical issues with borrowing from business people, individual people, and also as a country we have issues with debt.
Yes.
When should someone borrow?
When you want to borrow, there is a saying that says in some of the SACCO, save wisely, borrow wisely, and grow yourself. Before you borrow, you must save. Before you borrow, you must
save.
You must earn. You can either save. Borrowing can be either employed or even those who are non-employed. So if you are employed, you borrow against your salary. If you are doing business, you borrow against your business. Do not borrow money for a startup business. Never start your business using borrowed money.
Why?
Even if you go to the bank and tell them that I want to borrow money to start business, they will tell you that we don't finance startups. The reason is, and you must have done the business for 6 months and above. You have that cash book. You have that book that shows the sales. So you must manage a sales sheet so that when you go to the bank, they can see what you are doing. So they cannot always finance. You have to source for your own capital. You use it. Bank can only assist you when you have already started the business. The reason is, when you are starting it, it's in trial and error stages. It's in trial and error stages. Also, they are giving you time to see whether you are a very good manager of what you are doing. So if you can manage the little you have. So maybe for startups, let me talk of startups. If you want to start business, maybe it is good, first of all, to look for the savings, cheap savings, that will not take interest from you. Never start a business with an expensive money. When you go to the bank, they will tell you that we are lending this at 17%, at 21%. And that one will hamper the growth of the business. You can even borrow money from your relatives to start business. You can also look for, maybe it is good when you are starting business, Never start business by maybe renting a premise. You can start like supplies jobs, LPOs. When you have LPOs, and then also, if you are employed or even self-employed, you save. So that this money that you are saving, you can start the business with it. If you see this business is giving you some small profits, it is now your high time to borrow loans so that it will have that ripple effect on your business. So it is good to use what you have. When you're employed, save. The best way to save is in circles. Or even you can buy a property like land. Then you come and sell it and start the business. So for those maybe who are not employed, it is good to always even employ yourself. You can even go to a shop and ask for things. You do what we call an online even business. You can even sell shoes. Nowadays, if you leverage on technology, you will need to have you will not need to have a traditional shop that you pay rent.
It's true.
You first of all start with online, your status, your Facebook status. You hang some products there. When you sell it, you accumulate it. There is a saying that weka tano, kula tano. So if you build that aspect, like now when a shoe for 5,000 in a Facebook page, if you sell that shoe, you find from the vendor you'll import it from 3,500. So you make like 1,500.
Without paying rent?
Without paying rent.
Okay.
Even if you don't have bundles, the 20 bob that you've subscribed it, it will stay in the status. And always people will call you.
Yeah.
Most of our attires, we get it from the status, we get it from WhatsApp
online.
profiles, we get it from Facebook.
It's true.
We get it. There are so many ways, so many avenues
Okay.
of selling. So if we leverage on technology, the digital space, the digital space is free. You can sell your product. You can do so many marketing. You can even come to a studio like this, and you also make people to be aware of what you are doing.
It's true.
So if you can profile you package your product well, and you sell it, you'll make a kill without paying rent.
Another challenge that we always have when it's come to finances, especially for businesses, drawing the line between your money and business money. Because you find that somebody runs a business, then after 2 years, they close down because of failure of management of finances. And somebody say that you have to draw the line. The business money is not your money. How true is it, and how can one manage that?
That is true. Never mix your business with family issues. Never mix your business with family. Even your own siblings. Never start today a business and you come and employ your brother or your sister. The only way you can distinguish between business money and personal money is when you are there as the MD, you can always assign yourself salary like any other staff. You employ yourself in your own business so that there is always the money for the business and the money for yourself. So always never take home property to be a business property. In your office, apply professionalism in your office. And when you call professional, then even if you make like maybe 1 million, that's not your money. You need to pay yourself maybe through salary. You make a budget of what you want so that you isolate your personal needs and also the business needs so that you do not cut the growth of the business. The money for business should not be taken to go and buy household. Even it's like taking a loan and go and buy consumables, go and buy household. You need to have that financial management aspect, and then also you engage financial literacy person so that you can be able to see and to isolate personal property and also business property. Inventory for business should be inventory for business. Never sell something which is in your business premise and go straight away to pay your house bills. You'll be killing that business. Always eat from the fruits. In your business, you have the manager and maybe you are the MD. Always, there is a salary for the MD, even if you are the pioneer of that business, you are the founding director of that business, always allocate yourself a salary backed on the income made from the business. You are an employer like anyone, even though you are the founder of the business, always assign yourself salary, so that the profit made in the business will continue trying to multiply. You can build on your capital base so that you do not eat the tree itself, but you eat the fruit itself. Let the tree grow. Water the tree. You can even blow back the money to increase your business, but never always take money from the business and then also always maintain a very good books of accounts as a businessman. Use the QuickBooks, use the databases. If you maintain a very good books of accounts of your business, and then you allow your business to be audited, let it be audited, let it be run professionally, so that you can always optimize from your business. Never draw money casually from your business. You say, today I'm going to a car bazaar to buy myself a Prado, to buy myself a Range Rover. No, you'll always cut the tree of the business.
Now let's talk about transition. Majorly, the young people and also in our nation, we hardly find like a business that has been there for 50 years, for 100 years. We have a challenge of transition from one generation to another. Just to mention, comparing to Indians, for that matter, what do you think is the major challenge? Or do you think, do we fail to have professionalism? Because you find that if you are the owner, you are the storekeeper, you are the procurement manager, and then when you are not there, the business fails. What is the challenge?
The problem is succession plan. Succession plan of your business. As Africans, we fear debt. We fear debt. If you say today, let me try and demarcate my parcel of land so that in case something happens, the business will always continue. It is you, and you. So the problem that is facing us is what we call succession problem. So if we have a succession plan, that today my son is growing and I have a business, you need always to mentor your son in your business to grow in that space. Never allow your son or even your daughter to be far away from what you are doing. Always try to show him. When even you show him how to fish, that son will be very responsible. When you have an hardware in town, you have maybe a shop in town. When your son is on holiday, let him come and be there with you. Even if it is writing a receipt book, let him write a receipt. When you allow him to learn the skills of the business, there is something that we call impartation. In fact, the young guys are very sharp. The young guys even can leverage on technology and convert your business to go viral. So what we fear is, one, we fear that we don't believe that we are going to grow old. And we run our business until that time when tuko na bakora, tukitembea. So one is succession problem. Number two is trust. Even some of us men, we even don't trust our wives. Even the wife does not trust. I've worked in the bank. When you ask somebody who has opened a bank account that, who will you make to be the next of kin? He will tell you that I'll lose my sister or my brother. Then you are worried. Where is the wife or where is the husband? And that is the person you sleep with. You're with that person. What do you fear more with that person? So the biggest problem that we have is trust issue. You even don't trust your own wife. You don't trust your own shadow. That's why now there is something that we call in the bank unclaimed asset. You find somebody has a lot of money in maybe a cooperative bank, KCB, Equity, and then, God forbid, you are knocked down by a vehicle in town. Even your wife doesn't know that you own an account in cooperative bank or KCB. The next thing that will happen in the bank, they will ask the bank managers, kindly give us a list of unclaimed assets, unclaimed money lying idle in the bank. That money will be used to take care of public utilities, building the highways, doing so many government things, and your wife and your children, or your husband and your children are suffering because of the trust issue. To you, if you show them, they will always ask you to. So it is always good to trust your wife, trust your son, and mentor them. There are two key problems: succession, mentorship. Mentor them and tell them that this one is a business empire. This is our business. You can even call it the name of your family. This is our business. We shall eat it until the fourth generation. Never hide something from your wife, from your husband. Trust your wife. How can you sleep with somebody you don't trust? That's a big question. You've stayed with somebody, and then when it comes to your money, it is even good to tell her that at times, I normally go to Cooperative Bank, go to KCB, but don't tell even her the balances. Even the pin of your phone, when you are sick, M-Pesa pin. Hakuna. When we go to maybe other, God forbid, even some of the guys maybe wameshikwa na askari, but they need some few coins to just discharge you. The wife doesn't know you are the passport of your, the pin of your. So always, the way to grow as business people, as Africans, is to learn about succession planning. Also mentorship planning. If you know something today, let your wife know about it. That's a way of empowering your wife, empowering your son. Then now, bring your son slowly. Let him know what you normally do. That's why the Indians, they do that. Let even your child go and study business administration, business communication, so that he can come and run your own business.
It's true.
So that when you can travel even abroad, the son is always there. And you put systems in place, you leverage on technology. When you calculate that way of having trust within your family members, whom are you going to trust if you cannot trust your wife? You cannot trust your son. You cannot trust your daughter. Because time is coming when you will never make it to town. And you always need somebody to help you. So the best thing is that try to show your son what you are doing. And mentor him. And be close to him. Let us not fear our kids, fear our children, but bring them closely. Show them the aspect of management. Let him be part and parcel of your business. Because definitely it will belong to them.
Now, you will tell us something about taxation in business in a few minutes, because our time is much spent, and we would have wished to have this conversation keep going. Ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about finances in business and also to personal life. How do you apply financial management to grow your savings and also your wealth? That's very important. I'll just be in a position to read some questions that our viewers are asking. I think also this will cover a number of discussions that we are to have. I have Robert Kibet here, who is saying, congratulations. Ask the guest what is the secret behind his success. I think not that. And then also, in line with the elevation of Eldoret to be a city, owning a property is a nightmare for the hustlers. The question is there a model designed towards owning a property to low-income earners? I think you can respond to those before I read another one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me start with the first question was?
The first question was the secret about success, just in a statement.
Maybe the secrets of my success is investing in your family. Everything boils down to your family. If you want to know the strength of a man, it always starts from the family. If you are a person whereby you value your husband, you value your wife, you can always get that support system for you to grow. Number two, having that purpose in your life. When you know your purpose in life, then save towards that purpose and you build the passion. So it is good to know yourself Who are you? Who are you good in? Then from there, you start saving. My strength actually came from saving in SACCOs.
Okay.
You save money from SACCOs and then making the right decision when it comes to property buying.
Investing in property.
So if you want to grow maybe in your property, start with something like, for young guys, I know they love vehicles, Subaru and what have you. So reverse that and start with a plot. Have a plot for yourself so that you can always walk away from the renter to your own property. And then number 3, trust the process. There is no shortcut to success.
Okay.
You can never be a millionaire overnight.
Okay.
You have to trust a process. Let us avoid get rich schemes. There are so many scams that are going on, especially Eldoret being made to be a city. The scammers will be here. The fraudsters will be here. So many guys will come here with so many scrupulous ways of multiplying money. There is no institution in Kenya, even outside Kenya, that can give you money above 16%. If somebody approaches you and tells you that I can do abracadabra and maybe convert your money to $1 million, that one should be stopped. Let us always trust the process and exercise due diligence. So for you maybe to grow, like the way I've not grown that much, but small, always engage a financial expert to talk to you, a financial mentor. If you want to engage in any business, if you have the idea, always have that one person whom you can console and ask that person, is it wise for me to engage in this business? Before going to sell your property, land, you go and borrow loans in the bank and engage in a scam business.
Okay. Now buying now land in Eldoret City now
is wise. But also don't succumb to scammers like those who want to multiply money, the pyramid schemes, the DESI and groups. And also another thing that has come is somebody will also lie to you that you can work abroad, like and you can work in Canada, and you give him the whole amount that would have been used. So always trust the process. That's what I learned for myself. Trust the process, and then apply due diligence.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, we have here from Bernard Ngetich. Ask the guest if he has an opportunity of I'm an accountant, I will want to work. Please, the guest will inbox us, then we'll connect you with. If you'll get an opportunity, you'll be in a position. Robert Kipkosgei is asking, has he ever thought about mortgage facility for his clients? Has he had banking experience background? Partnership may also propel his business further within Eldoret City. About mortgage.
Yes. So concerning if you are employed, if you are employed and you are paying rent more than 15,000 and you are employed, you are a very good person to take a mortgage. You can pay 15,000, but ultimately you not own that house. So you are paying a house that you don't have a control over it. So if you are paying 15,000 and maybe you are employed somewhere, it is good. Our people fear mortgages, especially the Kalenjin, they fear mortgages. Never fear a mortgage. When you buy a house and convert that rent into mortgage installment, you will ultimately own that property. You will ultimately own that.
The property.
You fake until you make it. You fake until you you make it.
Okay.
So you start owning it by, instead of you paying a landlord, why don't you pay your own house? And then when you have that house, you can even engage in agribusiness. You put in some small vegetables there. You put in some chicken there so that you can get something from that. You see, land is a factor of production. And if you can take a mortgage, you buy a home which is in a quarter. Behind that home, you will do that home gardening and you will get something from the land. Maybe there is somebody who has get as a hustler, how can I get a property in a capital city like Eldoret? Eldoret now has been converted to be a capital city and properties will skyrocket. The only way for a hustler to get property, you can have what we call a kind of chama groups. You can have like 5 guys. You pull resources together, 5 of you, in your own hustles. weka tano, kula tano. If you can, what cannot be done by one person can be done by 5 or 10 people. So if you can always trust yourselves, come together. I like the women. They have a lot of chamas. There's a problem with us men. We don't belong to any chama because we don't trust one another. So if you are a hustler, you share the same common background. Background yenu amna pesa. So the little you make, if you can bring that money together, you save even like 1,000 a month. It's your own money. Then you take that money to a bank. There is chama accounts in mainstream banks that they give you 10 times your savings.
Okay.
If you come, the 10 of you today, the 5 of you today, who share a common issue that you want to buy a house, you have a clear-cut vision to buy a home, to buy a land. So the best thing is to go the chama way.
Okay.
Collect the money, put it in a chama account, then you can go and borrow 10 times. When you borrow 10 times, like when you have 300,000, you can borrow 3 million.
Okay.
You go to somewhere like maybe Lula, somewhere like even Jebkanga, buy an acre of land, subdivide it yourself, and by so doing, you will own a property and a home in an easy way. Unity is power.
Thank you. Now, before you give your parting shot to businessmen and women, because our time is much spent, I'll just have one question here for you from grandson Makanyaga, who is saying, that's a good discussion, but I have a question on how profitable is it to loan the government through different avenues like treasury bills and what have you?
It is profitable. Like there are the money market days. You can always lend money to the government. Treasury bills is trading with like CPK, Central Bank of Kenya.
Okay.
They always lend in 91 days, 182 days. So what you do, you can go to money market, then you can ask for, you can negotiate for an interest rate. Currently the banks are fixing at 9%, 8%, but that one they can give you an 11%. Then now your money will grow by that 11%. So if you have money lying somewhere, you can always put it in treasury bills. You can put it in FDI, fixed deposit. That's a sure way of saving money. But never allow yourself to take money to non-regulated institutions.
Okay.
Like the guys that we had in our news. You saw last night somebody went with people's money and is a church person. So always never allow yourself to be lured through charges who bring in scammers to come and tell you we can do abracadabra and give you 18%. Where on earth are you going to get 18% if the CBK itself are regulating it at 15% and below? So I want to talk to our viewers that never allow yourself, maybe we need a day that we can educate the city of Eldoret concerning the scammers, because they come in form of multiplying money and they come through charges. The charge has been used to be a background whereby somebody is allowed to go and fraud members of the hard-earned cash. So never allow yourself to be lied to somebody who is not regulated by the Central Bank of Kenya. Even if you see somebody doing that, it's always good to report. And we also ask the government agencies, even the county government, to see to it that guys doing that in shops, in the tall buildings in town, are apprehended, and that business to be stopped. But I want to talk to our guys that since Eldoret now has been made to be a city, expect a lot of scammers who are going to come here in form of so many ways. They will sell you so many stories that we won't add up. So we need to be alert, we need to be vigilant, and guard our hard-earned resources.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Joshua. I think what the only kind thing that you can do tonight, I think you'll create time also go to our viewers after the show so that also we can respond to our questions, because the questions are quite many and I'm sure we cannot be in a position to finish. Before you give us our parting shot, ladies and gentlemen, tonight's guest has been Joshua Kipchumba Chelalang, who has come with a lot of insights. I'm sure I've seen some viewers here saying that they're seriously taking notes, which is, I think a whole show cannot be enough for us. We need part B of this. and sincerely to speak about the scamming issues and the pyramid schemes that are seriously coming to our city. So those are the things that our viewers need to be cautioned, especially the MSMEs, because somebody grows money and then tomorrow they throw. So it's something that we need to create time to come and speak about the same. So ladies and gentlemen, let's ask our guest tonight to give us our parting shot or your parting shot for tonight.
Thanks.
This is your camera.
Thanks, Mr. Dan, for hosting me today. It has been a very healthy discussion that we have discussed a lot. To my viewers, always try to make the right decisions that will enable you to grow yourself wealth-wise. It is good always to trust the process. Have that financial literacy skills, know the areas you can invest on, and also grow your wealth. Never allow yourself to get rich quick schemes that will blind you into scammers and what have you. We want to thank our president for converting Eldoret to be a city status. As Eldoret has been made to be a city status, I want to caution our members. Now Eldoret will be seen in the world map. People know Eldoret as a city. You need to be very diligent when trying to invest your money. Always engage financial consultant, financial expert before you engage your money in any process or business. We always need to trust the process and also try to save wisely for our future. So thank you for having me. We will learn a lot. In case you have any question, you can always inbox me in my Facebook page or any other form of media. I will get to assist you in an area that I can be good in. Thanks, and God bless you all.
Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, that has been the CEO Show, episode 14 and counting. Thank you for being part of this conversation. Your comments, your response are always very appreciated. Don't forget to keep this conversation going even after the show. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a wrap for tonight. Until next week, same time, same place, with another amazing guest. I was your host, Dan.
Business Minds, pioneering and inspiring entrepreneurs. Creative talks, CEO insights, success stories, value markets, and financial education. This is the CEO Show. Hosted by Dan. Business Minds, pioneering and inspiring entrepreneurs. Creative talks, CEO insights, success stories, value markets, and financial education. This is the CEO Show.